Welcome back to Metal of Honour again. I'm Yidna and I'm going to talk you through a half set. We're going to be using the garnet again. You probably see the thumbnail, or I hope you see the thumbnail to see what the end result's going to be like. So before we've done the full rub over, done the flower one. So this one, you see where I've just marked it out. It's going to have the side, it's going to have side windows, but the difference with this video, rather than me just doing it all by hand, how I've done the other ones, I'm actually going to do, once the stone's in and the sides are drilled out, I'm actually going to do one half by hand, one half with machines, so you can get like an overall sort of vision of what the difference is going to be like, which isn't a lot, but you'll be able to see like how easy it is just by having different tools. So this first marker, this was about 2.5 mil down. I've done the main little sort of markers. So with I think this was like a 1.4 mil round tungsten carbide burr. So just put like the little dimples in where I'm going to do the main drill holes. So I'll use a twist drill here. When I was actually filming this, I think it's that the first one went through okay, then the second one I realised I should have actually sharpened the drill bit first before I'd done the video, or before I started recording. So that when I do the second side, I actually have to just get like a smaller drill bit, twist drill, to go through and then to open it up. But even when I was doing this bit here, I was thinking, oh, I should have sharpened this before I started. But yeah, like I said before, with the camera on, it's one of the hardest things to get used to. It just really slows down what I generally normally work like. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, so also because the drill bit was slightly blunt, it almost wanted to start drifting as well. So yeah, it's like I said before, if I make little mistakes and stuff, I'm going to keep them in here to show you, even though all the years that I've been doing it, you're still going to make mistakes and have accidents and stuff. I'm sure one of these videos, there was one video where I actually went through my finger a little bit, down to the bone with a twist drill, but I think one person noticed a little bit of blood and then a plaster. But yeah, but all these bits I'm just keeping in so you can see what it's like. Yeah, so this is going to be like the two side windows. We will be using this technique in future on rings to show you different ways as well of how you can adapt this, because it is quite a simple setting. If you manage to do the other two, especially if you manage to do just the normal rub over, you'll be absolutely fine doing this one as well. And it's definitely worth giving a go when you've got used to actually drilling through. As long as you're always aiming for the centre. I know from the way I'm doing it, you can't really aim because I'm recording and I need it to be on the best view. But yeah, definitely give it a go. So this is only opening up the very first split. Okay, just whatever saw blade is in your drill bit at the time. So for this one, got one of those quite aggressive flame burr, but I never go when I'm using these, especially at the beginning, I never go straight in at the thick point or at the widest point on that flame burr. I'd always start at the tip and kind of go forwards, and then just to flare it without it jumping out and sort of running down the collet, which they can do quite easily. But this is definitely an interesting setting. There's so many variations that you can end up doing from this. Like even now you can see it's got like a little round window. By the time this is done, it looks more oval, because by the time you've got the stone down and you've got the top bit pushed over, if you want it to remain very circular, this little window you just put lower down. It's complete, whatever your own preference is. And some of it, when you get used to doing these windows, like drilling into the side of a collet that's on a slant, you might decide you want a full normal rub over, but you still want the windows. And I'll do a video at some stage with it, but you can just do like 2 round circles next to each other, like just about touching. Then after that you can actually just cut in from both sides and actually turn that into like a heart-shaped window. It's really easy. I'm not sure it'll be worthy of a full video, because it might be a bit quick. I might come up with a few other ideas and just sort of put them all together in a video. Yeah, so this is a file that you've seen me use so many times before, just around the 20cm needle file, a cut to. Sometimes if you're not sure how far to cut up, if you want to keep it even, you can put a little bit of permanent marker on the needle file, just so you can see how far up you're going. Again, safety back file, just clean out that gap left and right of the opening. Even though you're going to be cutting and drilling and stuff, it just makes a nice blank canvas. So with a normal bud burr this time, just flaring out that circle a little bit, it sort of neatens off any burrs and just gets that inner like the thickness that is still visible. It just sort of burnishes it up and just makes it look nice. If you're doing this on a platinum ring, before you even start setting the stone, you might even want to get like polishing threads and actually polish inside there as well, which generally looks quite nice as well. I'd say you could put more windows in than this, but if any more than 2, if you wanted to put 4 in, it kind of makes it look like you've got weird big claws, or you like, if you're trying to make a setting look like a compass or something, maybe 4 would be alright with 4 big grooves around it. But generally 2 looks the neatest, looks the smartest, and just that bit more professional. So it looks professional, but anyone can do it. So you see where the distance I'd already prepped for that garnet to sit down. You didn't even need to do. I probably could have done it a little bit more shallow for it to stick up a little bit higher. It wouldn't have hurt. Yeah, so my same pusher that's made out of a broken file that I've been using for years, I'll be using that on one side, and the hammer handpiece that, if you watch the video that I've literally just finished doing the commentary for, of the workshop, sort of a tour of my tools, of what I use, you would have seen this handpiece. But it's it's so useful. So the same with the other garnet settings on the videos, if you watch those. In the description I'll put all the links to the other garnets that I've set and the other 2 styles to go with this, of this little tutorial series, just in case you didn't see those. But yeah, so I'll generally just file that top bit, just to kind of weaken the back part of it so I can push it over easier, also along with kind of bringing the whole shape to more what I'm after. Like I said before, a lot of the making process, stone setting process, a lot of it is like a sort of game of chess, or any sort of game where you've got to plan your next move. You just got to try and think ahead of what you want your final outcome to be. So you'll notice even when like I say, you've got to keep watching, and I'll be talking all through it. like the actual process. But after it's just rubbed in and secured on both sides, it looks really thick and sort of quite ugly still. But it's all leading to the final look that I've kind of already got in my head before I've even sat at the bench. So with the hand pusher, of course I normally do front and back first, but because of the depth of this stone, I'm actually doing the middle push as well. So even when I'm using the machine tools, for the initial securing of the stone, I'll use a hand pusher, no matter what. If you put, even if you're holding the stone down with your fingernail in the middle, when you're doing the first electric handpiece, it can jiggle the stone, and sometimes if it accidentally goes a bit too much, that's it, your stone table it just goes pissed, and it's a bit of a nightmare for undoing that sort of mistake. So very similar to the other rub over, we're just going around and around, just gradually pushing it all down until it all meets. You don't always have to, for the rim that's at the highest on that curve, you don't always need to get that all the way down touching the stone. There's not always a need to do that. For me, I'm more targeted and thinking about the lower part of that cavity, that's more touching the girdle. That's always the bit that I'm thinking about most. That's the bit I've got in my mind at all times. So again, like the other setting, just gradually take that next bit down, just smooths out the actual semicircle, and then I'll compress again. So it's, the more you do, the more of these you do, the quicker you become. You see, like for me, I'll just fly around this, and if I wasn't recording this and sort of like where I've got the camera there, if I won't keep looking up at like the little monitor, making sure that bits are in focus towards the middle of the lens, if I weren't doing that, this stone would take me about 5 minutes maybe in total, whereas this is I think it's like nearly 25-minute video. Yeah, so that slows me down a lot. With any of the rings that you see me make, I'd generally be able to make them quicker than what's in the video. Yeah, so you can see how easy this is. But also note here, when the pusher's off, if you look at the level of the collet, and when I'm pushing down, you see the whole ball vise push down. So that's where it's on the little table that's attached to the peg. So that's how hard I'm pushing down. So when you're doing a job like this and doing the pushing, like I'm right-handed, like your right elbow really takes some pressure. Also like your left wrist, or my left wrist, trying to hold it firm. So if I weren't holding that tight, if I push down, the whole thing's gonna the whole ball vise is just gonna topple. But yeah, especially if you watch it through again, for if you're gonna sort of do this project, take note of like yeah, like where my phone is. Like if that was there, and as soon as I push down on that collet, it's like the whole ball vise pushes down. And you'll also notice that on the very flat of that, when I get a piece that does seem a little bit thicker, I'll sometimes angle that pushing head to the side, so I'll use a sharper bit of it just to kind of force that down, then go over it more sort of a flat, yeah, more of like a flat angle really. It's as simple as that. That's only if you're having trouble getting some over. Right, so the way on the last bit, you see the whole ball vise pushing down where I'm pushing so hard. It's almost like this is completely static now. The ball vise isn't even dropping on the bench. It's not putting any pressure on that plate. And my left hand is more relaxed, it's more focused on the rotating. My left hand is literally just more focused holding that tight and in place, rather than having to force it down. And you see how much easier this is pushing the metal down. Because this is a tutorial, I'm going in quite gentle with this. You see me go round and then I will file it, whereas I'm more trying to teach this bit of how you could use the hammer handpiece in a safe way. When you've been using it for a while, you could literally do the sides and the middle and just push it all down in one go and be done. But there's a lot more risk, there's a lot more things to take into account there. But yeah, so on here you can see how neat that already looks. And it's I don't know, maybe even if you're a bit older doing these tutorials, and even if you've got like a bit of arthritis starting to kick in, or if it might not be as strong, the hammer handpiece is the way to go. It just takes so much pressure out your elbows, and yeah, it's not a good workout, but it gets the job done a lot quicker. So you see, I'll still file this side up, even though it looks quite neat. It's got a nice sort of nice angled rim that looks really even. Still take it down a little bit just to even things out. I say, if anything as well, since I've been videoing things and I've been using the handpiece a lot less, where I've been doing like the trying to show you by hand rather than the machine, it's made me get used to doing everything by hand as well. Yeah, I really hope people do give a few of these projects a go, and I know some people have already, and it's really good. It's nice knowing people are actually finding these videos useful. So you can see there I went around it with the 400 grit buff stick, and this one's the 800. And this is silver as well. If this was like yellow or rose gold, it would be a lot harder to push down as well, especially if you're doing a hand rub over. The handpiece will really come in useful there. The platinum metal, even though it's hard wearing, it's really soft, and it's lovely doing the setting. If this was a diamond, I'd lay this file on to open up those gaps again, just straight on the stone and file it. But because this is just a garnet for demo reasons, that's why I've got like my thumb there and I'm leaning it on my thumb, because I really don't want to touch that bit so much. So you've seen me use this one quite a few times, the hand flat scorper, that's sharpened to whatever angle you prefer, and polished on the bottom. There's certain jobs, if I'm doing like a really old Art Deco style ring that's very old fashioned, I do like to still do it by hand. So quite often a bright cut I will do by hand for kind of fits more with the job I'm doing. I don't know, it's a weird traditional thing, or just something that I like. So this is the air graver. So with this, there's no pushing. You literally, it's more like you feel the air sort of going through it, almost like a mini sort of road sort of jackhammer breaking up the road, like a little mini version of that. But for this, you're concentrating more on just holding it in the right place and just holding it still. And I'm just doing this as a demo, like going around it very carefully. If I didn't have the camera and keep checking, I would have actually been happier just to do this whole bright cut or cup right. People call it two, like the different things, mix it both up. But yeah, if the camera wasn't on me, I would literally just do that in one swoop. And as well, this I am doing under the microscope, so I'm looking down the microscope when I'm doing this. So you can actually see, so even if I was doing this on an opal or an emerald, something that's a little bit scarier, or higher risk of breaking and scratching, I can see how close that is. So to you watching this at the minute, it might look like I'm leaning on the garnet, but I'm not actually, I'm not anywhere near the garnet, so that it's safe. Yeah, that's one thing to remember, because you will end up scratching stones, especially like that piece just then. That's a tungsten carbide bit, and that will just scratch up the stones so quickly. It's unreal. But yeah, so you just got to be careful. Again, just giving it a little buff here, just going through a little bit of the 400 paper. If you see the tour video, the last video, you'll see that I had like the felts, the ones that I said like I trim. The main reason I trim them is because when you see this going down, there'll be an angle in a minute where I'll go over the top. It's like the reflection sort of warps a little bit, which tells me that either needs like a buff or it just needs a little bit more polish over that bit just to make it nice and circular. But yeah, these little felts, when you've trimmed them, if you're going over a curve, the felt, and you're pushing in, the felt will actually adapt to that curve. And you can't buy those felts like that, that's why you have to sort of trim them up yourself. I might do a whole video just on, like a 10-minute video just on felt trimming and stuff like that. Yeah, so you see like, I think it was this top, it almost looks like it sort of goes thinner at the top. So the bit I'm going over now, going over that with a hard felt will just bring that back in and bring it nice. Another thing I'll do in a minute, or in a second, I use the normal woolen mops like for fluffy sort of polishing. When they get old and they go like this, they kind of go over the top near where the sort of screw head is, and they become very useful for just going downwards like this. But you can only really use that if it's an old mop. If it's not like that, you just got to do a normal one from the side. But these come in really useful for polishing circular things. Yeah. But yeah, I hope this video is useful for you. But yeah, please let me know if you're gonna give this a try, or if you've tried it already, something similar, or even the other videos that I've done. Please let me know how you got on with them, and if there was a success, if it's helped at all. And there's so many people that are watching as well. There's been some videos that have had so many views, but not the subscribers. But if you're only just coming across the channel, and you might think, oh, there's not much on there. There's going to be a lot more to gain from subscribing than if you don't. Obviously you can ring the little bell for the notifications, but yeah, a like and subscribe would be really appreciated, just for the work that I'm currently putting into all these. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope you like the result from here. I think you'd agree, whether you use hand or machine, it does come out the same, but it's a lot easier using the machine and a lot quicker. But I'm going to leave you there. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. I'll put a link to the last tour video in as well. But yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.